Hey guys, Misty here with the Dreamweaver team, powered by Samson Properties, and we are still on our seller education video series. So I wanted to talk about inspections today. When you buy a home, you have the option to make the sale contingent on inspections. Most buyers do this to protect themselves. So they're going to have a home inspection. If there's well and septic, they can do that. Radon, lead-based paint, mold. There's a whole host of inspections they can do. But one of the things a lot of sellers don't know is that you can do your own inspections before putting your home on the market. So there are a couple of reasons you might want to do this. Number one, you're going to control the unknowns. Most people don't. I mean, you know the things that are wrong with your house, you know that you've kind of been putting off, those types of things, but there are probably issues that you do not know about. Things that just kind of haven't been kept up to code, or something has gone wrong, and it's not really noticeable unless you go and, you know, really see it. And most of us, frankly, do not know anything about building and construction and all of these things. So doing an inspection is going to kind of control those unknowns. You're going to get the report, they're going to point everything out to you, and then you can decide if you're going to fix things or, you know, whatever the list is, the major things. Maybe some things aren't that important, other things are safety and health hazards. So you're going to kind of know everything. Now, the one caveat is that if another inspector comes in, they're probably going to find other stuff. This is just the way it is. So don't think that your inspector is going to find 100% of everything, and then if a buyer comes in, if they do an inspection, they're not going to find anything. The reality is they probably will find something. But going back to, you now have your report. One of the big things is if your buyer brings a report and they say, I want this fix, you know, all of these things, they're going to want it to be done by a licensed professional, and it's going to be written in the contract that way. However, if you decide to do it beforehand, you can do however you want. If you are handy, if your brother-in-law is handy, whatever the situation is, you can have it come in and fixed the way that you want to do it. A lot of times that's going to save you money. I have had inspection reports come back from buyers and they literally wanted a shower head replaced because it was leaking around the edge, and they wanted a plumber to do that. It's a $10 shower head. A plumber's going to charge you, you know, $100 to come out and replace that. It's silly. It's absolutely silly. But that is what is written in the contract, and that's how it's going to be done. If you realize that it's leaking and replace it beforehand, you can do that on your own. They're never going to know. They're never going to know that it was leaking. It's fixed now. You did it. It did not cost you $100 to put on a $10 shower head. So some of these things are pretty silly, but buyers kind of get freaked out with anything wrong with a house. So you have control now. If you have done the inspection yourself, you can fix it. You can fix it the way you want, and then it's taken care of. So the kind of second caveat is that if you decide to do this inspection beforehand, you can do one of two things. Some sellers decide that they are going to just show that inspection report to any buyer that puts an offer in, and you know, so they're aware, here is what was wrong, it was fixed. You can decide to do your own inspection, or you can just take, you know, my word that this is the inspection that was done, and it has the inspector's company name and all of that. So it's not that they won't believe you, but some will still want to do their own inspection to make sure those things were fixed appropriately, or, you know, whatever. But the other thing is, if there is something in there that you have not fixed, when you give it to your agent has to disclose what those issues are. So if there's something in there that you did not fix, we will still have to tell the buyer about them. We are legally required to do that. So if you decide to do an inspection beforehand and you're not going to give it to the buyer, you're just going to fix everything that you think is important, and then if they decide they want to do their own inspection, that is up to them to find the issues. You don't want to give it to your agent at that point, because we will have to tell them all of those issues. So do the inspection, fix whatever you think is important, and then keep that inspection report to yourself. Don't give it to your agent. Don't give it to me. If I come in and I see something, a water leak, cracks, foundation issues, anything like that, I do have to tell the buyer. Usually they can see those things for themselves anyway, but I do have to tell them if I see something. But as long as I don't see that report, I do not have to tell them. I will not know. I have no knowledge of it. So again, even if you fix something and even if you have done an inspection, that buyer still has the right, if you agree to this in the contract, to bring their own inspector in and have a report. And if you agree that they can't negotiate on that, then they can still come back, and that inspector is probably definitely going to find something. And it's probably going to be something different than your inspector found. It's kind of just the nature of being human. When one person walks through a house, they see things, and when another person walks through a house, they see other things. The inspector also wants to cover their butts. So just know that, but it can really help if the things that were safety, health issues are completed, and your agent and the other agent understand that that is what an inspection report is really for those bigger things, and they're not going to negotiate, little teeny tiny ticky-tacky things. It can be a really good thing for you to have that done beforehand, fix any of the major issues, and then be prepared when you get an offer from a buyer. So just in case you didn't know that you could do that, you absolutely can. If you have any questions on selling or buying in the area, happy to help you. Just reach out, and I will see you on the next video.